Good morning. Happy to be here. I'm Selvam, the CEO and co-founder of DiscoveryIoT, and I'm here today to talk to you about how IoT and blockchain together, the convergence of IoT and blockchain, can help gather product analytics data and how that data can actually solve the problems that global supply chains face. Now, the moment we speak about supply chain, the immediate mental picture that all of us make of is of trucks hauling cargo on the interstate freeways, large trucks hauling cargo. Well, that's just one part of the supply chain. The whole supply chain play, the science of supply chain, talks about every step of the way that a product goes through in its transformation and its move from one state to another. For example, a typical consumer product supply chain, brands that we use on a daily basis, a product goes through several levels before it reaches the end consumer. Now, it starts from the sub-vendors, which means micro part manufacturers, goes to tier 1 manufacturers of parts, then to raw material warehouses, to assembly centers, finished goods warehouses, so on and so forth. It goes through multiple levels of the supply chain, through multiple transportation modes before it reaches the end consumer. So as you can see here, products are transported, in large trucks, in small trucks, in ships, and all the way to the end shopping cart where the end consumer picks up those products from the retail shelves. Now, so on average, a product goes through at least 35 to 45 different handling points before it reaches the end consumer. So products that you pick off the retail shelf has gone through 35 to 45 different touch points before it comes to you. Now, what does that mean? For you to be able to walk into a store and pick up the product of your choice, it means all these different layers have to work together in tandem to make sure that that product is available for you on the retail shelf when you walk in. Brands spend millions, if not billions of dollars on consumers to build franchise and bring them to the retail store. Now, they need to ensure that the product is there. Now, they do it in two different ways. One is they end up with situations where there's too much stock. To ensure that the end consumer here at the bottom has the right stock when he walks into the retail outlet, they end up with inventory all through the pipeline. Think about a company like HP, Hewlett-Packard. They work on a model similar to this, where there's multiple distributors, wholesalers, retail shops to supply you the end products. And the alternate model is Dell, who make to order, right? Once you place the order, once you pay for the product, that's when they procure the raw material from their vendor and start assembling the product. Now, the efficiency difference of supply chain between these two companies is enormous, because Dell essentially works on a zero inventory. But most consumer product brands, through this entire pipeline, have between 60 to 80 days of inventory just to make sure that when you walk into the retail store, the product is there for you to be picked. Now, all this works on a tremendous amount of data. For the next level, for example, for the regional warehouse to know, how much stock should I maintain, they must have a real-time visibility of stock position at the wholesalers. For the brand to know how many consumers are going to, buy my product, they need to understand stock position on real-time basis. Now, what are the underlying problems in this data flow through the supply chain? The largest current problems in the supply chain are: one, brands make suboptimal business decisions because they do not know on a real-time basis where their products are, for how long they are lying at a particular retail outlet. Are they going to expire soon? Is there product obsolescence that's going to happen? As a consequence, stockouts happen. How often have we walked into retail stores to buy products just to find that, your particular size of shirt or the color of your choice is not there on the shelf, right? It apparently happens 8% of the time, which means of every 100 consumers that walk into retail outlets to buy a brand's product, 8 of them do not find the product. Now that's a criminal waste of money. After all the billions of marketing dollars that have gone behind bringing you to the shelf, only to find that the shelf is empty. The other associated problem is product obsolescence. Now through this entire chain, when so much inventory is being maintained, talk about cell phones, for example. They go through model changes every 6 months. Now the inventory that gets accumulated through the product, through the supply chain that we spoke about earlier, has to be sold off at massive discounts. The same goes with fashion products. Shirts, when you go out of, when a particular season ends, when you're after New Year, all the products are sold at half of the price, or 70% off. That's a huge cost that brands pay today to clear off products in their supply chain. That's a direct consequence of product obsolescence. The other issue is because brands cannot identify products at a unit level, I mean, each unit of their product they're not able to track and identify, there's this whole issue of fake products making their way into the ecosystem. Think about the last time you left your car for service. Your service technician changed some parts, did some service on it, gave the car back to you in good condition, apparently. How sure are you that the spare part that was put into your car was not fake? Just about a couple of weeks ago, I was with Volkswagen in their plant in their research center in Shanghai, and they estimate this to be about a $600 million problem for them, for the automobile industry. Fake parts and fake parts making their way into consumer cars as concealed as genuine components. So all these are problems that the supply chain industry currently faces. Now, supply chain is a physical business, right? I mean, you actually are transporting and handling goods in real time. It's not data transfer. So how are we solving these problems? We are solving this through a blend of IoT and supply chain. Now, IoT, we are developing a microchip, a chip at a cost of less than 5 US cents, that can be affixed on every product that the brand wants to track. For example, a bottle of shampoo, if Procter & Gamble wants to track each bottle of shampoo that they manufacture, they affix these tags on each of the products that they manufacture. Then the second layer is the blockchain layer, where we are building a community of users who will have our mobile application installed on their smartphones. So if you as a user have our app on your smartphone, the D app on your smartphone, and you walk into a retail outlet, let's say a Walmart, the phone will automatically pair with all the products, all the tags that are there on the products. And this information, using your phone's cellular data network, this information goes into the blockchain. The tag itself is not directly connected to the internet. I mean, that's one of the ways in which we've reduced the cost significantly of the tag, the hardware. Using your phone's internet data connectivity, this information goes into the blockchain. Now, why would you lend your phone for this purpose? Because you get paid. For every GB of data that the user community transfers through his or her phone, they get paid $400 US in return in the form of our tokens. We are tokenizing this model. And this is where this whole thing is possible today because of the underlying blockchain environment. Now, why are we using blockchain in this? It's essentially run on a smart contract. So the moment you step into a retail outlet, how does your phone know to pair with the IoT tag, with the CLIOT? We call it the CLIOT. How does your phone pair with the CLIOT? It's through a smart contract, through a private key, public key authentication. How do you get the tokens for every GB of data that you transfer? It's again through a smart contract. It's on zero trust. There's no central authority. There's no Selvam sitting in the central authority determining, hey, you need to get $600, you need to get 1,000 yuan, and you need to get 400 GBP. It's all done through the smart contract in an automated manner. Again, device and data security. The problem with IoT today, mainstream adoption of IoT has been limited because of security issues. Anything can be hacked. That's the reality of the world, right? In our case, the tag, the CLIOT itself, because it's not directly connected to the internet, there's no way of hacking data from that. The only way to hack data is through the user's phone. And again, because it's on a blockchain, it's on a mesh network, any hacking attempt anywhere in the world on a user's phone is automatically recorded and shared with all the other nodes on the blockchain. making them smart and ensuring that such an attack can never be done on any other player in the ecosystem. The next is anonymity. When you are having the app on your phone, you're walking through retail outlets, your phone is pairing with all the kiosks, your data needs to be anonymous. It needs to be degranularized, to ensure privacy for the users. Again, this is being done through the blockchain environment. Next is the multi-resource processing. Every data that's collected on the blockchain is processed on edge computing. It's processed on the edge in the individual user's phone. And the processed hashed information is pushed into the blockchain to ensure that the data size does not become too large. It remains within manageable realm. So that's what we do. And in terms of the company, Discovery IoT, we are a running business. We are a supply chain services company in operations for more than 3 years. So I guess unlike 99% of the projects out there, we are not just a white paper and an idea. We already handle and track more than 150 million pounds of products yearly through our supply chain network. We have very large multi-billion-dollar FMCG clients working with us, paying us for the service, a manual tracking service that we provide today, which is far, far away from the blockchain solution that we are building. On the blockchain IoT part, we have launched an MVP on the 15th of June, about 10 days back, which is up and running, and we have clients who are using the service already. We are tokenizing this entire model. We just started our private fundraise on the 15th of June. It's a token fundraise, and yeah, that's where we are. This is our contact information. Kumar and I are the co-founders of the company. The company is already running. It's a 70-member team that's already 72-member team that's already running and functioning. And this is where you can reach us. We'll be very glad to have any conversations with you offline after this. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.